Yes, madam. Am I audible?
Madam?
Sir, is it audible, sir?
Hello?
Is it audible, sir?
Yes, I am audible to me, madam. You are audible?
Yes, sir. Very much, sir.
She is the HOD, Department of Commerce from Bardar University. She is expertise in finance and accounts and having 31 years of teaching experience. She has produced 18 PhDs and 49 MPhil scholar. She had completed projects from government agency and various private agencies. She had completed 9 projects and 3 of them ongoing now. She has published nearly 20 papers in Scopus and Web of Science journals and published 38 full proceedings in the international conference and national conference. Apart from this, she has set up the various academic bodies and she has awarded by 6 agencies and she is a member of various editorial board. She has traveled to Malaysia, Sri Lanka, Sharjah, Singapore, and Vietnam. With this few words, I will keep the session, madam. I hand the session to you. Madam, you can start, ma'am, now.
Yes, sir. Very good evening to one and all assembled here virtually for the purpose of discussing, interacting, as well as inciting some new concepts. Good evening, one and all virtually assembled at this juncture. I must thank the university administration for having given me the opportunity, as well as team HRDC of Amet University for inviting me to share some of the views, whatever the things we came across in the form of the research inputs as well as the research concepts. See, I can very much say that research nowadays for the higher education personalities, this is the mantra word for this particular purpose. See, the topic assigned to me in general is research ethics. And I am going to present as well as interact on the topic research ethics, which was given by the HRDC authorities as well as the director as well as dean. And there is a proverb which is well versed for the researcher. It's not enough to do your best. You must know what to do and then do your best. Edwards Deming. So what we are doing, all of a sudden, we will not fix the title, we will not fix the name as well as the theme. After 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, maximum it will take 3 months for a regular scholar to fix the theme as well as identify the thrust area, which is very much required for the current scenario in the research, especially the social science research. And research ethics involves the application of fundamental ethical principles to research activities, which include the design and implementation of research, a respect towards society and others, and the use of resources. See how many of us, which is who are telling that I agree, right? So, which involves the application of fundamental ethical principles to research activities, which include the design and implementation of research. See, basically what we are doing or what we have studied as a researcher, basic thing is the identification of the research problem. As a social scientist or as a scientist, okay, whatever the things, how the cancer medicine came in, based on some expertise experience, we need this because to safeguard a life, right? How to operate, how to go for open surgery, what to do with this angiogram, what to do with the liver operation, whatever it is, we need to know that for a researcher, normally which will come to mind. So this is the problem. Medicine is not there. Medicine is not available in India. This theme have not been touched by any researcher. Like that, the problem will identify by the researcher based on the any societal problem come across. Say, I want to know the problems and issues relating to, or problems and challenges, or issues and challenges relating to the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee workers, especially in Tamil Nadu, for example. Right? So, what are all the challenges they are facing? This is the problem. How I identified? They may be my neighbor, or they may be the persons when I was visiting a rural area, like that. So they may think that whenever we are interacting casually, they may tell that these are all the issues we have. These are all the problems. These are all the challenges, like that. So as a social scientist, immediately that problem I will keep in mind. If anything applicable, any scholar is coming, right, I can assign the topic based on their interest. That is very, very important. So based on the interest of the scholar, we can choose this topic for a social science research. So why this study? Okay, madam, we are studying all the concepts, whatever the theme, whatever the social issues and all. But whenever we are doing research, right, so we have to have the ethical practices. See, if I am applying for a paper publication, I have to double time check the plagiarism. Whatever the UGC is telling, 30% you can go with. But as far as the teachers, the regular teachers are concerned in the university system, as well as the higher education system, we are having the ceiling of below 10%. That is very much required. Even UGC is generously permitting for the scholars, in order to encourage the research, 30% you can similarize with other persons. But for a research regular scholar, we are permitting, and majority of the higher educational institutions are permitting to submit the thesis. If anybody is having the plagiarism of 10%, below 10%, single digit only is permitted. Why this study ethics? Why this study ethics? Here the systematic and a rational consideration of human system of belief. Right? See, I have taken a topic whenever the demonetization, before the financial crisis came in the year 2009, 10, 11, like that. So in that period, what they will do? Who will do? For example, in the Tirupur district, the textile is famous. Like, if this financial crisis is there, what they will do as a worker, as a labor, what they will do during this financial crisis? So that problem came to my mind. So I wanted to visit the Tirupur district, and then I have studied the impact of this financial crisis on textile and garment industry laborers in Tirupur district, like that. Okay, some of them migrated, some of them suffered with the financial utility. So many things are there. So the systematic and rational consideration, human system of belief, it involves making sense of and rationalizing our intuition about is right or bad. See, whoever knows, whoever is not watching, right, casually, without a guide, a research guide, or a research scholar without verifying the plagiarism or without verifying the concepts where we have taken. See, if I am taking from another person, for example, Prem Kumar, I am quoting the work of the Prem Kumar means I have to acknowledge him, right? Prem Kumar in his research study 2022, he quoted that like that. In the bibliography also, I have to acknowledge him. So Prem Kumar in the year 2022, he published a journal in a particular journal through the publisher in page number this and this. I have to acknowledge all the details of so and so person. So that is correct. So we have to realize which is good and which is bad. So this research ethics are the set of ethical guidelines that guides us on how scientific research should be conducted and disseminated. See, for example, I came across with so many issues around us. For example, scholar has taken the India Post as his research topic. The guide also applied for a agency the same topic. Okay, here the resemblance is coming. So some other scholar may work as a research scholar for the postal department. I mean postal department research work. So how it will work, right? Same area they will. If the scholar is doing the work means slightly it should vary from the teacher's research as well as the student. I mean the research scholar research also. Okay, so the research ethics are the set of ethical guidelines that guides us on how scientific research should be conducted and disseminated. So whether which is bad or which is good like that. See, we are talking about ethics. In so many ways we can talk about ethics. We have to check the plagiarism. We should not take the even topic of the neighboring researcher. We should not take. That is very, very important. That is very, very important. So objectives in research ethics to protect the human participants. To protect the human participants. Okay, so to protect the human participants, second thing is to ensure the research is conducted in a way that serves. Conducted in a way that serves. See, for what purpose we are doing research, whether the particular research work is solving the or serving the particular purpose, interest of the individual. See, I want to know, I want to highlight the issues and challenges of Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee workers in a particular district or particular taluk. Right? If I am doing the research, if I am approaching the beneficiaries of Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme workers, right? Really what they are facing in terms of crediting the money by the, the authorities concerned, or the delay in the payment system, delay in the wage system, right? Work has not been allotted for them. They are continuously demanding. And but the particular agency or particular authority is not giving the work assignment to the persons concerned. So many issues we came across.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, you are sharing the PPT, ma'am.
Yeah.
It is not visible, madam. You are not shared.
No, I have shared the link also.
No. The share screen. You got to go and share that.
Yeah, it is there, sir. I am organizing and conducting thousands
it is
of
not
programs.
Shown here.
Yeah, I will check.
Check it, madam.
Earlier I asked. Yeah, it is there. Share screen option already done. In the Google Drive also I have shared, sir. 1 second. I will check with the document.
You have to open it and share from Google Drive.
Yeah, already it is there. Now it's okay, sir.
No, madam.
It is showing a slide show. It is coming. Whenever it comes, you please inform me. It is in the this mode.
You close it again, share screen, madam.
Yeah, I am in the sharing screen option only, sir.
It is not showing.
Shall I share the, yeah, it is unsupported document type. Please select an image or PDF document. It is coming.
Right.
Already it is a PDF document.
I will contact my system admin, madam. And now it is carrying, madam. Yours. Madam. Yes, madam. Now it is okay. Hello.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Now you are audible, ma'am.
Sir, am I audible now?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we can proceed. Screen is also okay.
Okay, ma'am. Now you are the research ethics. That's your slide, madam. Now it is okay. Read only.
Okay,
document
fine, sir.
coming.
Fine,
Now you
fine,
can start,
fine.
ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Okay, okay.
So why this study ethics? See, if you are talking about the ethics, so the purpose should be solved for it should be all rounded. All the issues relating what for we are doing this particular research, for whom we are doing the research. It is called 360-degree achievement. Why? Because I am a researcher. My purpose is to identify a research problem, and I have to do the in-depth analysis, and I have to make the report what is the real issue relating to the particular title which I have chosen. That is my idea and my expectation, my purpose. So it should be solved. Whom we are targeting, the audience, who is the target audience? For them only we are doing the research, and for their support only we are identifying the social issues and we are publishing it, right? And we are also meeting some authorities relating to, sir, these are all the issues faced by the particular researcher, like that. See, whenever they see the issues, they have what immediately we are also issuing the questionnaire from the beneficiary side as well as the official side. For example, I want to make a study on the computer training provided to the rural development authorities, to the existing employees of the particular panchayat institutions, like panchayats, village panchayats, right? So the rural development department is giving the training to the panchayat employees right? So I have to ask them what is the impact of the training given by the rural development department, which may be either say state government institution through the state government or by the central government, whatever it is, right? So it may be SIRD or RIRD, Regional Institute of Rural Development, whatever it is, I have to ask them. So if I am asking one side, I mean the beneficiary, if they are saying, okay, good madam, earlier we didn't know anything. Now after this training program, we got some, it is an eye opener for us. Instead of the manual preparation, we are going with the internet training for a week. Then we know now what is the procedure for operating the internet and how to keep the documents, etc., etc. They are telling, right? See, if this is the case, and parallelly we are asking the employer of the RIRT, what they will tell, yeah, now the work have been speed up because of the, they are, some of them or 80% of the employees are showing the interest, remaining 20% are struggling in learning the particular new process, new technology, like that. Okay, so both the sides we have to ask the feedback, and then we have to come to the conclusion and findings. So to protect the human participants, to ensure that research is conducted in a way that serves interests of the individuals, groups, and the society as a whole, to examine the specific research activities and projects for their ethical soundness, looking at issues such as the management of risk, protection of confidentiality, and the process of informed consent. See, main aim of the research ethics is, one is we have to protect the human participants, those who are all involving in the research. For example, we are involving the audience. Audience means respondents are involving. The public is also involving in the form of reading our reports. The authorities are involving. The government is involving. The concerned stakeholder of the particular department is also involving. Sometimes the policy makers are involving. So we have to protect the interest of all. One. So to ensure that the research is conducted in a way that serves the interest of the individual, whether the individual interests have been fulfilled. Third one is to examine the specific research activities and projects for their ethical soundness. See, I did the justice for the employees of Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment. These are all the problems.
Madam, excuse me, again PPT not visible, madam.
Again.
Again.
Now also?
Yes, madam.
Sir, it is running. It is showing my another, what?
It is not shared properly, madam.
No, sir. Every slide is going. Sir, will you share your number, please?
My contact number, madam.
Yeah. I will share the PPT to you. You can also parallelly do that.
Okay. You can share to me, madam.
Yeah.
98438.
That is also better. 98. Another device, it is showing 98438.
11145.
Now you check it, sir. You can also parallelly check. Have you received it?
Wait, madam, I am waiting.
Yeah.
WhatsApp, huh?
WhatsApp.
Not received, madam.
Sir, double tick I have got from 900 something.
366025.
Yeah.
PPT is not shared. Only the video I am seeing.
No, sir, it is PPT, sir. 1 second. Sir, it's not actually video, it's PPT only.
Make sure you are connected to internet.
Are you trying to open? Again, I will send from my mobile also. Now you please check it up from my number.
1 minute.
94433
Okay, now. Yes, yes. ma'am.
947. You can also parallelly share.
Okay.
But for my another device, it is visible. I think
1
now
minute.
it's shown us the slide show, right? Is it okay, sir? Now
Wait a minute. I am sharing, madam.
you can share from the beginning also parallelly.
Hmm. Is it visible, ma'am, now?
Yeah, we can ask the audience also. Yes, sir, it's very much.
You are visible to
Yeah,
you,
in
ma'am?
my screen.
Then you can continue, ma'am. You can continue.
Got it, sir?
Yes, ma'am, you can continue.
Okay, shall we proceed?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So the first objective is to protect the human participant, to ensure the research is conducted in a way that serves the interest of the individual researcher or the interest of the group researcher, as well as the society as a whole, to examine the specific research activities and projects for their ethical soundness, and looking at issues such as the management of risk, protection of confidentiality, and the process of informed consent, and researcher obligations. One is objectivity and the social sciences. It should not be confused. See, we are coining the objectives, but at the same time, the objective of the research is this way we have to go. For example, to analyze the impact of the participants in the social media digital marketing. For example, we should not go to other platforms relating to, we have to clearly mention as well as the coin the questionnaire only for the participants of social media as well as digital marketing participants. So the objectivity as well as the social sciences, it should not be confused. The researcher have an obligation to honor the trust had their colleagues place in them. Why? Because they have an obligation.
Sure, okay. Sure, okay.
Sir, mute the audio, please.
Try பண்ண.
Sir, mute the audio, please. So the researcher have an obligation to honor the trust their colleagues place in them. Why? Because the worthy
correctness of the research depends upon the trust as well as the mutual confidence. See, normally as a researcher, we normally write in the limitation that some of the respondents were hesitated to answer for very many questions. Why they are hesitating? They are afraid of our confidentiality. Whether we will be relieving the information, they will be mentioning the personal data in their questionnaire. We should not reveal the details of the individual as well as their demographic profile, their personal number, everything. So the researcher have an obligation to honor the trust, hate their colleagues place in them, and the researcher have an obligation to themselves and adhering to professional standards and personal integrity. That is very, very important in research. If you are giving the data, we should not use the data for some other purposes. Sir, this is the issue. In this particular scheme, the people are telling very many issues are there. Why? Because the audience are believing us as a researcher, as an academician, they are sharing the information to us. But we should not use the same information other than the research purpose. See, at the time of issuing the questionnaire also, we are promising them in the first paragraph, myself so and so, this questionnaire being issued for the purpose of academic research. Whatever the data you are giving, it will keep us a confidential one, right? And we will not share the details given by you to anybody in a direct way or indirect way. We are signing in that paragraph also, below the paragraph, we are signing also, right? So based on that assurance only, in a gentle way, they are sharing their personal information, whatever may be the research problem, what we are doing the research, on what topic we are doing the research. So we have to have an obligation to ourselves as well as themselves, and personal integrity is also important. So the researcher have an obligation to act in ways that serves the public. See, our focus should be on the public only. So codes and policies for research ethics. What are all the codes? Here we have to ensure the honesty, integrity, as well as the individual human dignity. So these are all the three concepts is very, very important for a research work. See, respecting the individual autonomy and obtaining free and informed consent. See, if some scholar is coming, the topic may be irrelevant. I don't want to give the information. For example, right? For a tortured worker, if any researcher is entering with the questionnaire about job satisfaction of so and so in the particular concern, right? See, there are two types of audience. Whenever we are going and approaching for the research with a research questionnaire or interview schedule, right? One person may show directly the opinion to us. Why? Because I don't want to participate in this research. I don't like this topic. I am not related to this particular topic like that. Some of the persons they may give the information, right, with half-heartedly. Okay, or without reading the questionnaire also, simply they will tick their opinions, I mean the responses, right? See, if that is the case, finally what we are writing, sometimes the researcher, I mean the audience, may not given the truthfulness of their opinion, so which will lead to bias. Some biased informations are also there. Irrelevant information may be there. Right, the second opinion, whenever we are asking for the second opinion, like that. So what the researcher is really doing, which is an appreciable one, whatever the level of audience, whoever may be the audience, we are changing the language of the questionnaire in for their comfortableness. If the group is educated but not highly educated, they may be comfortable with the regional language. So we are translating into the regional language. We are circulating the questionnaire, issuing the questionnaire, and asking with the help of the interview schedule. Right? If they are not good, uneducated person, like below standard, for example, I can understand, but you have to explain. Right? So those kind of people we have to personally explain, and we have to collect the data or collect the responses, whatever they are telling us their own response. That is also there. So the respecting individual autonomy and obtaining free and informed consent also. Objectivity is there, and carefulness is also very, very important for the researcher as well as the research worker. And openness, what for we came here. For getting signed, we are getting the signature for one purpose, but we should not use the same data for some other purpose. Okay, it is not good on the part of the researcher, right? So the openness is there. We came here from so and so place, so and so university, so and so department, right? We are doing the research for the benefit of or for the purpose of this one. This data will not be revealed to anybody, will not be shared to anyone. So you can deliberately tell whatever the real opinion you have about this particular program or particular work or particular scheme or particular training program, whatever it is, right? So openness should be there, and respect for intellectual property. That is very, very important. Whatever the work I am having, so many scholars, they register the topic. If the same topic is registered in the same year by somebody, they will withdraw the research work. That is good on the part of the researcher, right? So the confidentiality as well as the data management. We have to keep the data given by the audience. They may be the employer, or they may be the employee, they may be the beneficiary. As a researcher, we have to keep the data as a confidential one. Why? Because some irritated employees may be there, beneficiaries may be there. See, I personally experienced with the sanitation training given to the village people. I visited all the 8 districts in Tamil Nadu. Region wise, I have visited 2 into 4, 8 districts based on the sample procedure. Right? What they told, madam, the government has given the toilet facility, I mean the subsidy for constructing the toilet. So we have avoided the open efficacy system, but the water facility is not being provided. See, what is the pathetic? The government, central government has given with the toilet facility to each and every home in that particular area, particular village. They have given the subsidy for supporting their construction and all, but water connectivity have practical difficulty. Is the practical difficulty in the particular scheme and all, right? So here the confidentiality, data management, and responsible publication. But as a researcher, madam, if they are telling the opinion, whether we are hiding the information, we can have the doubt, isn't it? But as a researcher, we have to give whatever the problems identified by the beneficiary, we have to write in the findings also if we have no issues, and but at the same time we have to write in the suggestions also. We have to publish the paper in the form of that particular suggestion, isn't it? So with the permission of the funding agents, that is very, very important, right? See here the confidentiality, data management, and we have to have the responsible publication, right? As a researcher, whatever the data we have received, because the data is for the research work, the government, maybe central government or state government, through any funding agency, we are receiving the fund. But at the time of writing the report or at the time of publishing a paper, we have to have the opinion before submitting the article, right? So sir, kindly permit me to submit the article to the so and so journal. We are sending the draft publication for your kind reference. If they will review it and without any if any objectionable material is there, content is there, they will suggest us or they will deny to publish the particular information. So that is going on. And respect for colleagues, we have to respect the colleagues while doing the research, and as a researcher we have the social responsibility also, and non-discrimination, whatever the research. So there should not be any discrimination that this area is good. Okay, whatever the real content we have received, we have to do the justice for the data collection and all, and competence, and avoid plagiarism, and animal care also, and human subject protection, and promoting justice and inclusiveness. See, for a good quality research, these are all the concepts to be keep in mind while doing the research. See, in the ethical part, this social responsibility, as a researcher, I must have the social responsibility. I should not discriminate, so this area or this person to be omitted, this topic to be omitted, like that. See, if I am traveling by bus, right, the girl children will get struggle. Why? Because the girl children will have the separate bus for traveling. All the school timings, we know what is the struggle and what is the crowd, like that. But the conductor will scold the school children. No, why you are coming by this time, like that? Where they will go? The government has announced these are all free bus pass, like that. So as a polite person, they should do the work, isn't it? So we are looking so many issues, we are hearing so many issues for the young generation also. So we have to have the human subject protection also, and promoting justice as well as the inclusiveness, and respecting and protecting the environment and future generations also. So here, doing the right thing does not automatically bring success, but compromising ethic almost always leads to failure. That is very, very important. Doing the right thing does not automatically bring success. See, if we are always doing right, definitely which will not bring the success automatically, but at the same time, we have to compromise the ethics almost always leads to failure. We can protect the failure if we are not attaining the success. So what areas we can focus for this research ethics? One is the concepts should not harm anybody. That is one. And informed consent. We have to have the informed consent. We are from, really we have to talk where we are from to the audience, to the respondents. We are coming from one university, but we are mentioning another university. See, frankly speaking, whenever we are doing research and entering the village, we have to have the permission from the village administrator, that panchayat, village panchayat officer, VAO, we have to get the permission. That is the proper channel. And we have to invite him also for participating in the survey. Sir, interestingly, we are participating. See, we are talking about any particular bank, role of banks, a particular bank in rural development. We have to call the manager, credit manager, sir, please come to the rural area. You can also participate in the opinion given by the farmers, for example, right, like that. So it should not harm the the organization, as well as the same time the participants, right? So we can ask them to talk frankly, the farmers, for example, the manager, credit manager also will listen whatever the real feeling they have. Otherwise, if the farmer is going to the bank, nobody will listen the grievances, right? So the harmless and informed consent and confidentiality, they have to maintain, and reporting results as well as the and plagiarism. We have to submit the report in the form of whatever the results we have received from based on the findings, based on the analysis, what findings we received, and what are all the findings and what are all the suggestions. We have to publish it in the form of a report, and we have to follow the plagiarism. In the field work, which should be the real opinion received from so there is no need of for analysis, there is no need of plagiarism. Why? Because really we went to the field work and we have collected the data. So in that way, our report zero, if we are right for the real survey, 0% plagiarism is also possible. If we are doing the real work, real study, we are rewriting the review of literature in our own understanding, definitely we will get the 0% or 1% plagiarism. Okay, so this is possible in research. See, what does it mean harm? The researcher should take every precaution to ensure that the participants are not subjected to undue harm or stress. That is important. We should not make them stress. Why? Because if I am asking anybody, what about your job satisfaction? right? If the authority is also permitting him to sit in front of me and I am asking the question, definitely he will hesitate to answer in front of his officer. No, madam, I am not satisfied with. If I am asking him alone, he will tell, in this aspect, I am not satisfied. My junior got promotion, but I am sitting on the same position. Automatically, which leads to frustration. Frustration leads to stress, like that, isn't it? So we have to have the information. Harm and discomfort can take many forms, can be physical or emotional, social or financial. So the researcher must use strategies to minimize all types of harm and discomfort, even ones that are temporary. That is very, very important. We have to have a friendly relationship with the audience, and then only we can slightly collect the information from the, which should not harm anybody, we should not compel anybody, like that. So that is very, very important in the research. And informed consent. See, voluntary informed consent is essential for research involving human subject. According to APA, informed consent should include here the description of the nature of research. What is that? A description of the nature of research? See, any participant as a researcher, can you tell me how many formats are there in the bibliography or review of literature while writing? Kindly participate in the discussion also. Anybody can tell. APA style we are doing. What is that? APA format we are telling. At the time of writing the paper, normally for preparing the research papers, this APA form is mainly used in the social sciences like psychology, anthropology, sociology, like that. Any idea? APA referencing style. Author should be first, like that. American Psychological Association, it is telling that their style. Any idea? Any researcher or research scholar? Which is a standard format for almost all the social science research field. I have given all the clues. Out of this much of participants, any interaction? Sir, am I audible now?
Madam, you are audible, madam.
Okay, okay. So I have asked the question. Out of this many 463 participants, they are hesitating to answer. That's what I am asking. Yeah, shall I proceed?
You can proceed.
Description of the nature of research also. The statement that the research is voluntary and participants can withdraw at any time. Why? Because identification of the risk and benefits are there. Apart from this, the description research and that types of research we are studying, in the descriptive nature of work, we have to have the confidentiality will be protected, and the discretion of the compensation also. Here, the description of what the information the researcher will share with their participants also. And we have to maintain the confidentiality. All the informations collected in a research project, all the whatever may be the informations collected through the research project should remain confidential. See, we should not tell to the authorities. We see, for example, if anybody is complaining about the rural development, I mean the rural development authority in the village or a particular person, those who are eligible to issue the money, everything now through the financial inclusion, thanks to Digital India, and the money being deposited to all the workers like that, isn't it? All the information research project should remain confidential and data should be locked in a secure setting, and electronic database should also be protected. That is very, very important. And apart from that, plagiarism, which comes from the Latin word meaning to kidnap. Kidnap means without hiding and moving a person without anybody's knowledge from one place to another place. So this example of plagiarism is also there. And we can quote so many. You see, if I am taking a particular paragraph for the purpose of my findings, like I didn't do the survey, I didn't do the research, I didn't find anything, I didn't analyze anything in the form of any table, I have not applied any statistical tools for that particular findings. But relating to my topic, somebody has given the findings whenever they did the research, when they were doing the research like that. If I am writing that, that is called plagiarism, that copying and taking the material from without the knowledge of the particular intellectual owner. That is very, very important. And copying someone else's words without proper citation, and stealing someone else's ideas, and stealing someone else's intellectual property. So these are all coming under the concept of plagiarism. Right? So we have to acknowledge, already we have discussed about the acknowledgement also. And there are 6 ethics of life. 1, before we pray, we have to believe. Before we speak, we have to listen. Before we spend, we have to earn. And before we write, we have to think. Before we quit, and we have to try. And before we die, live. So in that way, whatever we are doing, we must have the courage to do the work, but at the same time, we must have courage to execute the particular work also. So we must have some ethical principles while writing the research report. Honesty, strive for honesty in all scientific communications, honestly report data, and we have to analyze the results. We have to follow the methods and procedures, and the publication status also. We should not fabricate, falsify, or misrepresent the data. That is very, very important. We do not deceive colleagues, research sponsors, or the public. Why? Because if I am taking your data, I am what? Deceiving you, right? You will feel very much. So without mentioning my name, she has taken my paper or she has taken my quotes, but she did not mention my name and which article, which page number, etc. Right? So the research sponsor also, we must acknowledge the research sponsor for having given us the opportunity to do the research on a particular title. And we have to thank the public also. So honestly, we have to acknowledge ourselves for the help rendered by the various persons for drafting a report. And the objectivity, which is nothing but strive to avoid bias in experimental design also. Here, the data analysis and data interpretation, peer review, personal decisions, grant writing, expert testimony, and other aspects of research where objectivity is expected or required. Here, avoid to minimize the bias or self-deception and disclose the personal or financial interests that may affect the research. See, the personal information, which will definitely avoid they affect the research. See, I can tell my age, I can tell my experience, I can tell my education, I can tell my family members, number of members in the family, right? But how I am feeling about the level of satisfaction, I am mentioning where I am working, right?
If I am telling, you are making the no answer, which means I am not at all satisfying about the services, I mean benefits provided by the institution or company which I am working, like that, right? So the objectivity should be there. We have to try to avoid the bias in experimental design at the time of doing the analysis, also at the time of doing the reviews also, and at the time of taking the personal decision also. And we have to keep in mind the minds of the reader first. Oh, they have written about the bad things in the particular company. Like one person can say the bad things, but another 99% may give the information about this. See, in a ethical way, we have to write the interpretation also, suggestions also, and findings. We have to mention it, whatever the observations we made during the survey. That is objectivity and integrity. We have to keep our promises and agreements, act with sincerity, strive for consistency of thought and action, and carefulness. We have to have avoid careless errors and negligence. Carefully and critically examine your own work and the work of your peer team also, and keep good records of research activities such as data collection and research design and correspondence with agencies or journals. See, we have to be very careful in these aspects. Why? Because we are doing research and we are carelessly if we are adding some information. So that's what point by point the researcher, I mean, for example, just simply ignore the research project or research fellow, right? If I am doing PhD, I am the mother of that particular work, right? So I have to be very careful in writing the report, writing the content. That is very, very important. So line by line, I have to verify. And see, I should not say, sir, careless mistakes, sir, typing errors, sir, like that, isn't it? So carefully and critically examine our work. We have to read, and then we have to refer with our colleagues also. Madam or sir, kindly read this para, this page, or this sentence. If any mistake, you please. Like that, we have to, in consultation with our peers also, we have to complete the task and keep good records of research activities, and such as data collection is good. Properly, we went for data collection and research design. We have coined very well introduction of the study, and then statement of the problem. What is the real statement of the problem? We identified from the statement of the problem, which are all the issues I am going to answer, for which I am framing the research questions. Based on the research questions, I am framing the objectives. So based on the objectives, what hypothesis I can make? Based on the hypothesis, what methodology, I mean the data collection method, I am going to frame. And based on the data collection, which are all the tools I am going to apply. First objective, I am going to apply this for identifying the impact study, ANOVA, everything that tools and techniques, whatever I am applying, like that, isn't it? So that carefulness should be there, and openness. So every title should be linked with another title. What is the chapter scheme? What are the limitations? What is the scope of the study, or significance of the study, or importance of the study, area of the study? What are all the proposed tools and techniques which I am going to apply, like that, isn't it? So this carefulness should be there, and openness. We can share the data, we can share the results, we can share the ideas, we can share the tools and techniques, and we can share the resources, but be open to criticism and new ideas. And transparency in research is very, very important. Why? Because publications, we are telling publications, it is for public only, it is for society only. Somebody, if we are writing, somebody will read the work, right? So transparency should be there. Disclose the methods, materials, assumptions, analysis, and other information needed to evaluate our research. That is very, very important. And we are the single person. If I am writing the report, if I am publishing an article, I am accountable
I am responsible for our part in research, and we have to be prepared to give an account, explanation or justification of what we did on a research project or research work and why we have done this particular work, right? See, in the Viva Voce examination, normally there will be a question either by the audience or by the, the research examiner, the external examiner. What is the question? Why you have chosen this study? The scholar should justify why she or he has chosen the particular study. No, this Kanjipuram is my native town, so that I have taken. This is not the right answer, isn't it? What for? This is the particular issue in this particular area. So, considering my time and considering my study period, I have taken this particular 2 districts only or 3 districts only, like that, isn't it? So we have to acknowledge that particular issue. We can't say that it is my native town, so it is comfortable for me to do the research, like that. And next thing is intellectual property. We have to honor the patents, copyrights we can made out of the research work, what we have done, and other forms of intellectual property also, and do not use the unpublished data. So we have to use the published data, that is called the secondary resources, sources of data we are writing. Unpublished data we should not take, right? And methods or results without permission, and give proper acknowledgement, and we have to or credit for all the contributions to research and never plagiarize. See, if I am taking 5 articles and referred your article, 5 article, and I am writing I am converting as a review of literature, whatever the thing, I should not mention only Murugan. For example, the name of the person published the paper is Murugan, means Murugan in the year 2022 returned the paper in his article titled in this particular journal, year, publisher, page number, everything I have to quote, all his details. If possible, in the paper also automatically, if I am typing the details, it will come the affiliating institute also. That's what we are deliberatingly using the Google Scholar, ResearchGate, Academia, so many accounts we have. Microsoft, everything we are publishing, that is intellectual. So we should not plagiarize to the maximum, and confidentiality, and protect the confidential communication, papers or grants submitted for publication, personal records, trades. Here, there is no concept. For example, if our institution is going for a NAC, if our institution is going for NIRF work, every teacher should submit the data about their achievements. For example, if X is receiving the fund from some institution, some agency, they have to mention it in the personal record, the biodata, right? If somebody is receiving the travel award, that should be mentioned. If somebody should be receiving the academic award, that should be mentioned. The paper published by the individual, number of projects, number of publications, number of invited talks. So many things we have to mention. All the academic achievements should be mentioned by the individual. So there is no need of hiding the information, hiding the achievement of the particular individual researcher. And we are responsible for publication. Publish in order to advance the research as well as scholarship, not to advance just our own career, and avoid wasteful and duplicative publications. We should not take the same topic for our research. For example, when I studied MCOM, when in the year 91-92, just imagine the same consumer behavior is also going now. So whenever we people like us, whenever we are going for any doctoral committee meeting, first doctoral committee meeting itself, please change the topic, do some useful topic, like that. See, you can ask me, right, madam, this consumer behavior is not useful, like that. See, consumer behavior of talcum powder, is it necessary now? Isn't it? So some same consumer behavior about the advertisements, media, like that. So the trend is changing now. According to the recent trends, we have to choose the topics in the same marketing also. Now we are in the digital world, so social media advertising, impact of that OTT platform is streaming now, right? So many things are there to take us a novel topic in the same marketing concepts, right? So financial performance of some X company, Y company, Z company, already they have published resources. What is the use of studying the financial performance and all, right? We can go for the capital markets, derivatives, like that. For example, I am telling, like now human capital is there, intellectual capital is there, cryptocurrency. So many things are there in finance. But as a researcher, for our convenience, we are simply taking the financial performance as study. Okay, very novel topics we have to search, and we are the pioneer, we are the front runner for the particular novel topic also. So here the intellectual property, confidentiality, and responsible for publications and responsible mentoring. We have to help to educate, mentor, and advise the students. We have to promote their welfare and allow them to make their own decisions. See, normally in the university system, the guide will give a 1 month time or 2 months time for identifying the theme, not for finalizing the topic. Identifying the theme itself, they will go to the library, they will read the article in the department library or general library, they will identify the problem, they will read the daily newspapers, what is highlighting topic. They will visit the RBI website, they will visit the ministry's website, right? What is the current topic? They will visit the chartered accountant website, company secretary's website. So many things are there. So now very recently ESG concept came. Environment, sustainability, and governance. So why can't we take e-governance? Why can't we take governance in the public administration? So many topics, so many novel topics are there. So in that way, we have to think, right? So apart from that, we are the responsible person, and we have to have the responsible mentor to advise the students and respect for colleagues also, and treat them fairly. At the time of considering the topic, we should not harm them. The same topic we should not take, like that. And social responsibility also we have. So social good and prevent or mitigate the social harms through research, public education, and advocacy. And non-discrimination, which is nothing but avoid discrimination against colleagues or students on the basis of what? Their sex, race, and ethnicity, or other factors not related to scientific competence and integrity. Oh, I don't like this person, so that I am hating this. I am not taking this particular group of persons for my study. We should not do that. So education is not having anything in this particular group. Education is common for all. So we have to avoid this kind of discrimination. Education is for all. That is the simple concept. We should not discriminate. We should not analyze them based on the caste, creed, and ethnicity, or I won't take any male persons, female persons, like that, right? So other factors not related to scientific competence as well as integrity. This is not fair on the part of it is for both the guides as well as the scholars, as well as all kinds of researchers in the society. And the competence is also there, and maintain and improve our own professional competency and expertise through lifelong education and learning. Take steps to keep competence in science as a whole. And legality, they obey relevant laws and institutional and governmental policies. Our government policy is, my aim is, if we are not receiving any, those days there is no commended or highly commended category, like that. Okay. And in between again it came. But what is the intention of the good teachers or the research scholars? Every teacher should make their research scholar to award with the highly commended category. It is not on the paper, based on the work what they have contributed. For all the 3 years, they are doing regular research as a regular research scholar, funded by some UGC or ICSSR or other ministry or whatever it is. That money should not go waste. Right? So every research guides or every research investigators should do the quality research nowadays, because this last 10-15 years, every scholar is having, every researcher is having all the facility in their finger. So if I want to browse something, I can do with the help of my laptop, my mobile, everywhere. I can browse anywhere. So legality and animal care show proper respect and care for animal using them in research, and do not conduct unnecessary or poorly designed animal experiments like that. So in all aspects in the society, we are also having the responsibility. We are also a social animal. Man is a social animal. So we have to consider the caring of the animal also while doing the research. So this is in one sentence. And human subject protection, we have to protect the human also, minimize the harms and risks and maximize the benefit, respect the human dignity, privacy and autonomy also. We have to take special precautions with vulnerable populations and strive to distribute the benefits and burdens of research fairly. Why we are doing this? Why this research ethics is important for a researcher, right? It is reflection of respect for those who take part in research. It ensures no unreasonable, unsafe or thoughtless demands are made by the researcher. It ensures sufficient knowledge is shared by all concerned. We have to ensure it. See, if we are having enough knowledge to do the research, to approach the research, to guide for the research scholars, to do the investigation properly, to approach the administration, to approach the government, to making the policy or writing the policy making concepts like that. So we have to have the confidence on it, right? It imposes a common standard in all the above aspects. Apart from that, what are all the problems faced by the researcher? See these two pictures, right? That sitting nature of work, like always, like that, with all media, with all resources, like whether we can do this. I have decided my area of specialization. I have taken the finance as specialization. Whether I can take the behavioral finance or the corporate finance, like that. I have taken the derivatives. Whether I can go for the commodity derivatives or financial derivatives, like that, isn't it? So normally we have to analyze, and then for that only the regular research scholars will take a minimum of 2 to 3 months for identifying the research problem, and there is no need of facing the problem at all. Lack of scientific training also. So for that only, every research guide should deliberately and freely permit all the research scholars, and as a teacher also, we are also learners till the end. So in that aspect, we can easily, generously permit all the research scholar to go anywhere to learn something basically about research within 6 months of the year from the date of their registration. That is very, very important. Here, they have to learn themselves what is research. And parallelly, the teachers in the department also, we are teaching what is research, how to approach research, etc., etc. So, which is nothing but the lack of scientific training and all. Here, the many researchers undertake the research work without having actual knowledge of the research methods. See why this problem is coming. We have to allow the scholars to learn some more. We have to send them for research methodology program and the capacity building program for research scholar, and workshop for the research scholars, hands-on training for the research scholars. Then easily, if we are permitting them for 3 to 5 programs of research methodology as well as capacity building for research scholars and all, they have the capacity to do the research, to do the analysis by themselves. So they just look for similar studies and a copy of the methodologies listed in it. This scenario warrants the need of some sort of short-term training to be imparted to researchers prior to the understanding the research activities too. And nowadays, interaction is minimal. Why? Because everybody is thinking that it is available in Google. So no need of interaction. Why should we ask her? Why should we interact with her? Like that. Why? Because Google is telling everything. What is what? So there is no proper interaction between the researchers and the business establishing government institutions. This leads to a great deal of data going untapped. So interaction programs, see, normally I used to ask a question with the agency. What kind of topics you want? We can do the research on it. Even you can, all the budding research scholars, you can approach whatever the problem in your mind. For example, I have approached the e-governance agents. Like, what is the role of e-governance agency in the particular district? What is the satisfaction level of the e-governance managers in the collectorate of various districts? Like that. See, if we are approaching them, we need particular permission from the state government. So, if we are interacting with them, once permission is granted by the authorities, if we are interacting with them, sir, every public is coming for their Aadhaar card, PAN card, etc., their Patta, Chitta, every schemes, government schemes, everything along with the documents. These are all the problems faced by us, sir. Okay, so what are the problems? 9 o'clock we are waiting, but they are coming 11 o'clock only. But our duty is to open the office by 9 o'clock. Some internet issue is there. At the time of overcrowd, we can't manage with the two systems only provided. So many things we are also observing. So why? Because if we are interacting, asking one-to-one, we can suggest something to the authorities, sir. These are all the issues faced by the e-governance manager, sir. So why can't we rectify it? Kindly do some useful things for them, sir. Like that, as a researcher, we can highlight some of the possible issues in person at the time of our interaction from both the sides, employer as well as the employee. So because why this insufficient interaction program should be organized between the researcher and other institution on a regular basis. So this will highlight what issues need to be researched, what data is required for conducting research, and how the study will be useful, and a lack of confidence. Here, most of the business establishments are of the opinion that the researcher can misuse the data provided by them. See, I remember one incident. Earlier, Karur Vysya Bank and Lakshmi Vilas Bank, those two banks are brought laurel to the district Karur. Okay, but what happened when the scholars or students are approaching the banks like ICICI, HDFC, or Karur Vysya Bank, Lakshmi Vilas Bank, now they stopped what? Giving the data. Why? Because the data, annual report, anybody can take from their website. But if you are asking some data, deliberately, the credit manager told this opinion. What happened? What will happen? Like that. So they lose the confidence because of the issue. But this affects the research studies. Why? Because we won't get the proper data. So for which that particular data may be of utmost importance. So confidence building measures should be adopted, which will convince the business units that their data will be put in the productive purposes and will not be misused in any way by the researcher. That is called the assurance form. And lack of code of conduct, no specific code of conduct exists for the researcher, which leads to interdepartmental and inter-university rivalries. So the outlook of the researcher, research student, all the students before being selected by the guide or by the any institution or by the any investigating institution interact with their senior colleagues as well as students. So they already finding difficulty with the research tells the hardships they suffer or suffered. So this changes the outlook of the students. Research is the way we take it. It can be either positive or negative. Anyway, maybe harder or easier. That is the intention. So for this purpose only, in the public viva voce examination, in the academic viva voce examination, what the audience or the examiner, what are all the problems faced by you while collecting the data? That will be the general question. Okay, so I very much struggled to receive the information from the authorities. The employers are not cooperative. They hesitated to give the report, etc., etc. So many points will come. So to avoid this, the confidentiality should be generated, mutual trust and confidence should be there, and lack of confidence to take up a new study, especially the explorative study also. This may be due to any above mentioned reasonably, the fear of the result and fear of not able to answer the questions during the presentations. One, we should be dare enough to disseminate the result of the study as it is the truth she has come to know after the research process. Limitations of the study are always considered, and no one is going to blame on that unless until the research is redone. This leads to undertaking or overlapping of, as there is a want of information. Why? Because see, first month we are entering into one village for the data collection. We identified some issues between the respondents as well as the authorities concerned. Immediately we can bring to the, as a social scientist, we can bring the knowledge. Otherwise, safer side, we can take the authorities along with the, the researcher for the survey, field survey. That is better way. Sir, why don't you come tomorrow, sir? We are going for the survey, sir. You can also have the chance of inspecting them, sir. Meeting them, sir. They will have the chance of meeting them, sir. Like that, we can invite the authorities for the particular field visit. So here the 50% of the problems will be solved. So this job we can do as a researcher, and dissatisfactory library management and functioning. So the library management and functioning is not satisfactory, and many places and much of the time and energy of the researcher are spent in tracing out the books, journals, report, etc., rather than in tracing out the relevant material from them. This statement is applicable in the good old days, not now. Why? Because if we are clicking the computer in the entry level, the entrance of the library, you can get the list of ample of thesis in the same title. It will come. Just imagine. Okay, thanks to University Grants Commission, they are having this kind of tie-up with the publication of the entire thesis in the database, right? So in the Sodh Ganga, every thesis is available. Based on that, they can, thanks to Google Scholar also, if you are once entered and registered in the Google Scholar, and if you are creating your profile, the topics related to your, for example, if my scholar is doing the research on intellectual capital, right? If he is registering and creating a profile in the Google Scholar, automatically, whether he liked it or not, automatically, whoever is publishing and adding in the Google Scholar, automatically the reviews will come. National as well as the international reviews are also coming to his vision, isn't it? So sitting with the laptop anywhere, everywhere, anytime he can take the review of literature by downloading the article, right? So these are all the ways we are taking the review of literature, right? So apart from that, if they want relaxedly, they can go and read the newspaper. If anything related to in the financial express, whatever it is, database, whatever it is, they can refer relaxedly relating to his topic. What are the recent issues available? Who is the agency? If I am doing the research on consumer, right? What is the Consumer Affairs Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution have published about the new concepts relating to this particular issue, like that, isn't it? So what are all the regulations? If I am taking the working of District Consumer Redressal Forum, right? What are all the regulations given by the ministry for district forums, district consumer court, etc. Like that, right? So the information, we should not start the work from the middle in the sense, okay, I have identified the title, so from here I am going to start. Not like that. The area, I mean the topic for which I have taken, for this particular work, who is the authority? See, if I am taking the work of a bank related topic, I have to refer definitely which are all the leading agencies, right? I have to go to RBI, I have to go to the website of banking and finance website. I have to read the articles relating to the banking in the leading bank, I mean the Indian banker, like that. So if I am doing the research or banking, I have to visit the website of the Reserve Bank of India. If I am doing the research about the chartered accountants, I have to visit the website of Ministry of Corporate Affairs. If I'm doing the research on company secretaries related topic, I have to visit the website of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. I'm doing information technology, Ministry of Information Technology, or IT department, information technology department. If I am taking the taxes, what are the recent issues? If I'm taking on the budget, a comparison or whatever it is, I have to visit the Finance Ministry website. See, like that, we have to be the all-rounder, and then only we can get the input, and then we can convert the input into output as a researcher. This is very, very important. And what is the difficulty of timely availability of published data? There is also the difficulty of timely availability of published data from various government and other agencies doing this job in our country. For example, Indian Council of Social Science Research, they have their NASCOM library. We can subscribe as a scholar, we can subscribe for 300. You can access it for 6 months. At the time of doing the analysis or at the time of collecting the review of literature, they are sharing along with the password, right? You can use it. So many avenues are there for this. You have to interact with the the researcher, those who have done the research earlier relating to your topic or your area. That is very, very important, right? See, the difficulty in availability of published data, researcher also faces the problem on account of the fact that the published data vary quite significantly because of differences in coverage by the concerning agencies. That is also there, but there is a quote, when people are determined, they can overcome anything. If we are determining, we can overcome anything. Apart from that, who said? So said Nelson Mandela. And most of the threats we face come from the progress we have made in science and technology. We are not going to stop making progress or reverse it. We should not sit back. But if we must recognize the dangers and control them. I am an optimist and I believe we can. Stephen Hawking. And apart from that, research is to see what everybody else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought. So it is unique. It should be innovative, like it should be new, like that. We should not reciprocate or resemble the existing researcher. That is very, very important in the research, because world is, we know, big, but opportunities are also, openings are also big. So in that way, we should not resemble, we should not the plagiarize, we should not take the concept, but we can acknowledge them. So it is to see what everybody else has seen so far, that is existing, that is nothing but the review of literature. But we have to give them the review of literature and to think what nobody else has thought. We should be the only one person. If I am doing the research on e-governance, from the e-governance articles or e-governance paper or e-governance concept, if I am writing financial technology, I also should be the one without resembling the other. Either it is a conceptual concept or it is a research concept, whatever it is, we should not resemble others. In some way, we have to away from that. If we are quoting the words of X or Y, we have to acknowledge the words of X and Y. In that way, I have admired and I have taken the words of X and Y and I have given the acknowledgement in page number this and this. Or otherwise, there is another way is also there. If we are taking a model of the existing publishers, I mean the existing researcher, we can easily send a mail and we can get the permission for using the particular model or particular methodology. Like that, mostly international authors, they are deliberately giving, feeling they're proud. Now it is reversed. Our scholars are also doing wonders and they are asking us in the form of ResearchGate through the via ResearchGate as well as the message, mail, etc. for asking the full article for their reference also. Like so, it is the world is shrinking in the hands of the researcher. With these words, I wish to conclude my topic as research ethics. And apart from that, there are agencies or there. Our wish as a teacher, our wish is to get the maximum possibility, I mean the maximum resource utilization from both the state government as well as the central government. Our motto is, for example, our motto, why I am telling our motto, our Bharatiyar University motto is maximum all the scholar should get the fellowship or scholarship from some other agency. That is our wish. For each and every scholar, they should affiliate, they have to do the research with some affiliating institution, not only with the affiliating institution, but also with some of the funding agencies like UGC NET or UGC JRF or ICSSR or any minority welfare association like what Malgam Elizabeth Adiseshaya or what is that, Rajiv Gandhi Fellowship, like that minority Ministry of Minority Affairs. So many things we are doing. Maulana Azad. So many fellowships are available. I am talking about the social sciences and similarly DST and CSIR and so many science and technology institutions. They are generously giving funding for the relevant titles for the benefit of the research scholars, right? So without wasting time and without wasting the energy, we can do the research in a healthy way. With these words, I wish to conclude my presentation, and if anything, we can discuss.
Yes, madam.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Participants,
Yeah, it's 500 touched.
500 touched, madam.
Ah,
You can. I allowed a few participants, madam, to raise up. They will ask you now.
sir.
I allowed a few participants. They had raised hand.
Ah,
Now they may ask questions on you.
yeah,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
With my little knowledge, I can.
Yes, participants. Yes.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm audible.
Yes, audible. You can continue.
Yes, sir. Arun, sir, please.
Ma'am, Swaraj, ma'am.
Sir.
I'm Swaraj, ma'am, from Kanchipuram.
Yes, tell me, sir.
Ma'am, the query is that I have taken the research topic as life skills, how it is going to impact on the employability of graduates. And actually, while going through the research for the 2 to 3 years, I found that
You belongs to which department, sir?
management studies, ma'am.
Management studies, life skill.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Life skill and its impact on the employability.
Okay.
So I have searched for a lot of published work
Why
related to
don't
this.
you go and refer with the skill development related title? What is the impact of this particular skill gap analysis is there, and then skill development agencies are there, Tamil Nadu Skill Development Corporation, NSDC is there, National Skill Development Corporation. You can go every institutes
Okay,
having the research schemes and
Okay,
research India column is there. Have you
Okay,
referred that?
Yes, ma'am, I have referred, but I could
Okay.
not get the exact gap what is there.
Have you visited the institution related library?
No, ma'am, not yet visited, ma'am.
Yeah, you can do one thing, and then you can
Okay.
visit that also.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yes, Dr.
Okay.
S. Rajalakshmi.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, very much.
Yes, ma'am. I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm from a law background.
Job,
I'm from a law background.
law background. Okay.
Ma'am, if suppose my research topic does not have a review of literature, because all the research proposal they are demanding for the review of literature, that becomes a vital part of a research proposal.
Oh, Humpty number of for anything, we are not going to identify or find a new definition for anything. Like that is called intellectual. Definitely you will get a patent or copyright if you are identifying a new thing, right? So you can widen your, scope, the area or your search. Okay, you have to widen your search.
But what suppose if nobody has done any research on the area what I have selected, if I am the first person to
Okay,
work
you
on
come
it?
to the conclusion that nobody has, we should not say nobody has taken this particular title in the Viva or in the research forum.
But in
Why?
any
Because
research, but
definitely
any
in the world, definitely some ideas should be initiated by our seniors or the researcher or the intellectual persons. Okay. If you are going to see law means, if you visit Dr. Ambedkar University, Law University, it is in
ma'am, I am
Delhi.
working in Tamil Nadu Dr. Ambedkar Law University, ma'am. I'm an associate professor working in
Okay.
Law University, ma'am. Tamil Nadu Dr. Ambedkar Law University.
Okay.
My question is, the thing is, most of the research proposal, the committee actually wants
You
a review of
divide the
literature.
latest, law related magazines and law related articles, the journals, it will definitely reveal your particular new concept. For
The
example,
concept is there, ma'am, but nobody has
See,
worked on that area.
I will tell you one example. If ESG came some 4 or 5 months back about the ESG concept in the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, we were also searching. What there is a word called, immediately we search what is that environment, sustainability, and then governance. So immediately we started writing one article because it is a new concept, no? Isn't it? What they are telling, what they want to highlight like that. So the same way, if we are searching, we can divide the international reviews as well as the national reviews. Okay, if international reviews are there, you have to read some international. As a research scholar, if you are a teacher, you just with the help of Google Scholar, some reviews may be applicable and available for you, your search. Research gate also it is possible.
Okay, ma'am. So review of, so even if we don't have a review of literature, we can proceed further with our research proposal.
No, without review of literature, see, if you are a new researcher, you can proceed. I am going to find a new thing for this particular problem.
Okay, ma'am.
If already the problem exists, definitely some other have written the particular article or particular research or particular concept. Their opinion also shared to the public. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. This is Dr. Geeta.
Subhashini.
Ma'am, it's Dr. Geeta here from School of Law, Lovely Professional University. So just
Okay.
can I respond to the question ma'am is asking? Can I contribute in this, ma'am? So, ma'am, you were saying there's no review of literature. I hope that you can take any of our instances which are linking to your problem. Like there is some article in newspaper, and then again some
Yeah.
instances that are going on. So you can take them as a review of literature or even as a history if nothing is available to you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. So,
Madam, you
ma'am,
also agreeing with my point? Because
yes, ma'am.
can we
Yes,
say
yes.
that no review of literature is available?
Mhm. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I agree also with your point. Just I want to add something like the ma'am want something like addition
Yeah.
that is not getting. So just I want to just adding
That is
something
called
to this.
research. Research. Again and again,
Research.
we have to search till the
Yes, ma'am.
availability of the particular concept.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there
That
is
is,
one question from my side.
yeah.
So the question is that in social sciences, we are using two terms, that one is a hypothesis, the other is a research question. So
Yeah.
some people, they are using both the things in the hypothesis and research question in social sciences, and some they are saying you can't go for the hypothesis in social sciences and you have to use only research question. So can you throw some light on this, ma'am?
No, definitely. The research questions means from the problem what we identified, we have to highlight for answering the research questions, we are framing the objectives.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
In order
Yeah.
to test the, I mean, in order to achieve the objectives, we are framing the hypothesis in different way with the help of null hypothesis or alternative hypothesis.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
So if
So
it
some
is,
yes, ma'am, you continue, please. You continue, please.
Yeah. If it is, we are framing the hypothesis in order to, analyze it, right? In order to execute the hypothesis, test the hypothesis only, we are applying the tools and techniques. So for these objectives, I have framed this hypothesis. I am going to analyze the hypothesis with the help of this tool, like chi-square for this objective and regression for the second objective, like that we are framing. So research question should not come as a separate heading. From the statement of the problem, I have identified, as a researcher, I have identified this as a statement of the problem. Okay, for this statement of the problem, these are all the issues came to my mind that should be converted as a research questions. From the research questions, we have to pull the objectives. For the objectives, we have to go for hypothesis. But research question should not be the separate heading.
Okay, ma'am, this should be from the like hypothesis we are making. This is a hypothesis in social sciences, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. And there is some another question, ma'am. The question is regarding that you are stating that we can't use the unpublished data in our work. So can I know the reason behind this? Because sometimes I am using the unpublished data.
Unpublished means if the
Yeah.
company's annual report once they publish. But if we want the real financial data, I mean the financial statement for 6 months, if we are asking, okay, with the permission of the authorities, we can get the data. Okay, what do you mean by unpublished data first? In your area, you are telling, no, I am using unpublished data.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I'm listening. I'm listening. Please continue.
Well, see, you are telling, no, I am using unpublished data. Can you quote example for your idea?
கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்க அது அன்பப்ளிஷ்ட் டேட்டா அதுல திருப்பியே கேட்டாங்க.
Hello.
Madam?
Just ma'am, I'm taking unpublished data as like some report is like coming and some unpublished work is there, which is just now to be published.
Where
But
it
we
is
have
coming?
to.
From where it is coming? The unpublished data, from where it is coming?
Okay. So
Where
I
it is
hope we have.
coming? Where you got it? Unpublished data.
அதுக்கு அடுத்து வரும்
Yes, ma'am. So I think we have to take the consent of these person to use the unpublished data, because the unpublished data is something like we don't know whether they want to publish or not.
So that permission is required, no? With their consent only we are doing it. But without their consent, they agree to publish, give, that's all.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Then there is some another question, ma'am. So my question is regarding the when we are collecting the responses from Google form, ma'am. So Google form, then I am collecting the this data. Then there's some I am putting 8 option for some person, like A option
Very
2,
many
3,
times
4.
we have to thank Google. Why? Because which simplified the which Google simplified the work of the analyzer. I mean the researcher. Okay.
So no, ma'am, I'm saying that
Researcher.
I'm collecting data regarding one question. Like I have one question, and I'm giving the respondent some options, and the options are in 8 number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Yes.
and I'm collecting the data through Google Sheet, ma'am. And then
Okay.
whenever I'm putting that like 9th option, so this is going into the second page, ma'am.
Okay.
Right, then I am just copying it to my research work, so I am not able to trace the second page data, ma'am. There the only first page data is there. So how I can trace that, how I can put that in my research work?
No, some technical issues, because whatever the responses, whatever the suggestions, if they are giving every suggestions, every column which we have created, see, I have collected for 15 opinions also, perfectly it came out. Okay, some maybe some technical issue, some I hope so. Why? Because all the columns should reflect the response. If I am selecting column number 1 response, what is that? Highly agree, disagree, highly disagree, like that. If we are doing 5, okay, all the 5 columns should be visible. Whatever the response, first person, what answer they have responded, second person, it will come in the form of diagram also. How many percent responded for how many questions? We have to fix the Google form. If I am not answering for the 7th question, it should not accept the 8th. Like that, so many options are there. We have to design the questionnaire in that way only. Incomplete data, it is not permitting us to submit. So many models are there. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Then the last question just I am asking, I know the time is running also. So just I want to ask one question. I am also asking this question in earlier session also, but I was just not satisfying with the answer. So just I want to ask that if I'm just giving one option to one person, that what is a rape? What is a rape or a marital rape? Then the person is saying no for this. Right, ma'am. And then the next question, he is giving some suggestion and recommendation to me that whether we should punish this offense or not. Right, ma'am. So, what is the status of this data, ma'am? He is giving to me 2 responses, no?
That is called biased information, right? He is not clear while answering. See, as a teacher, if I am telling, do you like the subject? Yes. Okay, in the next question, I will prefer, for example, if you are asking insurance is your favorite paper, I will say yes. But in the next question, which is your most favorite paper, normally I can say accountancy is my favorite paper, for example. It is a contradictory answer. Already I have given insurance is my favorite paper. Okay, so I have to be, as a reader, I have to thoroughly verify. And I have to answer. The response person should be the good person while responding to the researcher.
Okay, so how I can write this and how I can interpret in the lastly, how I can write the conclusion about it.
Maximum responses based on his understanding, what he understood while reading again, we can understand. Oh, this fellow is given this negative ranking, but all other answer he has given means majority we can take. That's all.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Very much understand, ma'am, now. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. And it was a very knowledgeable session, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Okay, ma'am.
Good evening,
ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening.
Ma'am, good evening. Shanmugam from
Coimbatore, ma'am.
Shanmugam from?
Subhashini from Coimbatore.
Government Arts College, Karur. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. Very good evening.
Ma'am, good evening.
Yeah, you are also participant for Amex University. Yeah, welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I watched your session very interestingly. Your presentation is very nice.
This is not feedback session, only interacting session.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Because my question is, nowadays that while the candidate may be going to submit that thesis to university, and during the publication of articles having the lot of issues and problems has to come. What is your suggestion, ma'am, for to accepting for that articles is to be done right way?
See, based on all the university to avoid the duplication of articles, right? I mean, duplication of journals. Every scholar faced a problem during this COVID period because they paid for, some of the paid journals are there, 1,800 as a registration fee or publication fee like that. They struggled in paying the fee, but in the same name, right? Even for unpaid journals recommended by UGC, right? The same website, same mail ID they have created. They canvassed for in the name of this one. Okay, is it our duty to make a complaint to UGC? Some of the students, they have made the complaint. I can't in this forum, I can't mention the name of the few journals, right? Only they free copy. I mean, the online copy is free for every appreciable scholar, but they received money from few scholars, 1,500, 2,000 as a registration fee, not for publication fee. Publication fee is free, like that. But the hard copy came, but that particular institution, I mean the academic institution, did not publish any hard copy for this purpose. Now what to do? Isn't it? So,
yes, ma'am.
Whenever we are asking the concerned institution, sir, we have not received the copy like that. No, madam, your scholar article is not received by our institution. Same mail ID, same website, they have done this kind of work. What to do? So this UGC is also making the tightening the accessibility, and they are imposing and announcing so many regulations for the benefit of the scholar. Even then, this is going on, but during this time it is a little bit reduced because everybody is aware of the fake journals.
I see.
Cloned journals,
yes,
right? So it will take minimum of 6 months. Scopus, Web of Science, it will take minimum of 6 months to 1 year. Then we can consider it as a good journal, real Scopus journal.
Okay,
so the researcher should be a patient observer and follower for publishing this kind of journal.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your nice words.
Thank you.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Subhashini, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful presentation, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a question. Ma'am, when I completed my doctorate in the year 2020, and I applied for ICSSR's fellowship, and I got the fellowship also, ma'am. As through the fellowship only, I completed my PhD.
Excellent.
And when I went to interview for ICSSR, there is an institute called Institute of Public Enterprises in Hyderabad, ma'am. It is called
Yes.
Through them only I went, ma'am. So during the interview process, I found there are more than 500 candidates applied for the fellowship, ma'am.
Okay.
I found the domination, that is especially in South India, the applicants are very less, ma'am. And I just wanted to know whether it is because of the awareness, less awareness, or
lack of awareness. That is true.
Lack how to apply, the knowledge of applying.
No, they have to read. See, we are giving information to our scholar. This is the advertisement came. We are making them to read the journals daily, 10 journals. It is our practice. For example, if 20 scholars are there in the department, University Grants Commission and other funding agency is giving the contingency fund. Okay, it is our Bharatiyar University practice. Thanks to Professor Tiruvasagam sir for this kind of practice. So many practices we are following today. And why? Because the scholars should subscribe. In my department, we are making the scholars to subscribe by spending all the 3 years they are going to be stay in the department, isn't it? So they have to subscribe. For example, last month, January, one boy, Wasim, he subscribed one University News. Another girl, Jisha, he subscribed along with the another scholar, that Economic and Political Weekly, right? And employment news by another person, some newspapers by some other scholar, like that. isn't it?
Okay.
So
Yes.
if we are having the practice, it is not a burden for the other research scholar. Per day, we have minimum of 15 journals and 10 newspapers. They can read by spending their single rupee per day. They can read all the 15 journals and 10 newspapers. So this is the practice of my department. Through that particular journal and particular subscription, they know what are all the call for, what are all the avenues. That is one. And another thing in the South is we have a culture that we won't depart our family, both boys and girls.
Yes,
So who
ma'am.
will go to Nagapattinam? I realized very lately, who will go to Nagapattinam? Who will go to that another place? I want the employment opportunity as within Tamil Nadu or within our jurisdiction, within the district. How it is possible? That is another reason. They may
Yes,
have the
ma'am.
awareness, okay, but they don't want to go. That is another reason.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sometimes
Any-
I feel that they doesn't know how to even write the proposal or how to apply for particular project or fellowship.
It
ma'am.
depends upon the institution which they train.
Okay, how to
Yeah.
create awareness and how to train them, ma'am? I do not know. I just
We are
want
doing,
your-
no, all the universities they are doing, all the colleges, all the research supervisors, they have to create the awareness in the minds of the students. We are not permitting any scholar to do on their own money, with their own money. But
Yes.
these are all the avenues who are normally we used to check. I used to check who are all the
Okay.
students without fellowships. They will come, meagerly 4 or 5 will come. One by one, they will apply. They will get the SC/ST scholarship. They will get a minority scholarship, like that. And finally, if any teacher is having the project, remaining 3 students will get the that project fellow also.
Project fellowship. Okay.
Yeah. So we have to create the opportunities as a
Create the
teacher.
opportunities.
Teacher is also equally responsible for this condition.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening. Madam, this
Yeah.
is Ragajyoti from Bangalore.
Okay.
Madam, my question is regarding plagiarism. You said that not to copy and if you are about to
Yes.
copy, you should mention the name, citation, everything should be there. And
Yeah.
my
We have to
question,
Go to
acknowledge
stop
them.
பண்ணிடலாம்.
We have
yes,
to acknowledge them.
Okay.
that I understood, madam. My question is, if I want to start an article, what I do is normally I'll refer something like 10 to 12 articles.
One second. I think today is the valedictory. Am I right, sir? Director, sir?
Waiting for it. This may be the last question. We can stop with this
Yeah,
question.
yeah, sir. This is
One by
only
one,
last
if the
question.
same question, kindly avoid the same question because of the convenient of the organizers.
No,
Yeah,
this is
one by
not.
one. Yeah, I will give you 3 minutes time. Within 3 minutes, you can complete the question.
Yeah,
please.
madam. The thing is, I'll select 10 to 12 articles. I'll revise them, and then I'll come to decide like which is my article, what is the name of my article, and how to do, etc. Is it a type of copying, madam, or am I doing in the right?
No, you have to read why you are copying. Don't take the
madam,
same.
I'm not copying. What I said is I'll read 10 to 12 articles and then
You
I'll
have to
decide.
take the extract of the particular article. I mean publication.
Based on that, I'll decide what is my title article and what is how I want to do my article, whether it is a questionnaire, how we have to frame something like that.
You
Idea.
have to go with some 40-50 articles. That only you will come to the conclusion little bit. What are all the variables missing? In what way I have to fill the research gap, like that.
Okay, madam. Other question is, I'll take only
intensive study. That is called intensive study.
Madam, other question is, you said like don't do same topic again and again. Yeah, madam. The thing is, what I did is I did on
what is the use job satisfaction of the employees of Karur Vaishya Bank in Karur?
No. Not
right?
like
For example, I am telling, no, what is the use? Job
Yes,
satisfaction
madam,
of the Karur Vaishya Bank employees in Tirupur. What is the use?
Yes, madam. My question is, I did on stock market, like on options. I took a couple of strategies like butterfly strategy, bear strategy, something like that, and I analyzed how it is working on options, whether the people who are following this bull and butterfly strategies, whether they are getting profits or not. And same thing, I had taken the strategies of this and I had seen in this futures also. Is it like a continuation of the work, or can I say like a different one? Because I had gone for different options. Now, option is one thing, it is type of trading. Another one is futures, future contract.
If option pricing or other futures, if same way some researcher is being analyzed, means you have to check before submitting the report.
They had analyzed, madam, but the strategies what they had used now, that is different. What I'm using the strategies is still different.
So that may be your copyright. If you're unique from others, it will be your product. You can go for any copyright or publication.
Okay, madam. Thank you, madam. That's it, madam. Thank you so much.
Hello. Yes. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Ramesh, Dr. Ramesh, Dr. Hemalata, Dr. Rajalakshmi. Yes, anybody?
Yes, madam. Hello. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thanks for your wonderful session. It is highly innovative and thoughtful for the entire participants. Your presentation on the code of conduct regarding integrity, regarding time schedules, confidence, and training. With these few words, I thank you one and all. Now we'll move on to our validatory session. Sir, Richard, sir.
Yes, sir, I'm online.
Yes. Respected registrar, key speakers, HODs, deans, directors, faculty members, and my dear participants, a very good evening and a warm welcome to all of you to this validatory session of 1 week STP on ethics in academic research writing. Over the past 6 days, we are deeply insighted into the several issues related to the ethics in research writing. This short-term program focused on the plagiarism, how to avoid, how to prepare project proposal, and regarding book reviews, how to improve the citations, how to use Manly software, application of SPSS software, and AMOS. Now, I would like to welcome our registrar, Amat University, who always a great innovator for us to organize the FTP. I welcome you, sir. I also welcome the key speakers, HODs, deans, and all the participants, and also the participants from the YouTube also, who are participating for the 6 days and who are attending this FTP and also validatory session. Once again, I welcome all. I thank you. I hand on the session to the registrar. I kindly request the registrar to give the validatory address.
Thank you, Professor Pungavanam. A very good evening to all the panelists, as well as close to 500 attendees and those who are joined in YouTube also. A very good evening to one and all. I deem it as a pleasure for me to meet you all in this almost late evening on a Saturday. It's really wonderful to see you all people. Almost 700 people are joined here on a Saturday evening, that too discussing on most important aspect of the higher education institutions. I have witnessed the interactions and also the last few parts of the lecture, of the last lecture. And it is really wonderful and most welcoming move also, for which I congratulate and thank the Human Resource Development Cell of our university, which is being nurtured and headed by our Executive Director, Dr. Deepa Rajesh. And also I sincerely thank my friend and colleague, Dr. Pungavanam, for taking continuous efforts in organizing many such faculty development programs every now and then. Really wonderful job the Ahmed Business School is doing, and I wish they should continue this sort of sensitization programs every now and then. This topic, I see it is one of the most vital and most important topic, the ethics in academic research. And we know that academic research means mainly based either PhD or post-PhD, there is PDF research. Either PhD research or postdoctoral research is considered as the academic research. There are about 1,070 universities in India. There all the universities and its affiliated colleges and several standalone institutions and other research organizations are doing PhD research. Almost all these 1,000 plus universities, which comprises of more than 40,000 colleges, are engaged in research. But still, nowadays people used to say that there are many doctorates available, but it's not so high. I would like to have give a small statistics on the PhD research in India. Overall, almost only 2% of the entire population is having a doctoral degree. That means only 2% of the entire world population is engaged in academic research and have completed academic research or continuing the academic research. In India, almost every year, we are producing close to 25,000 PhDs in a year. All these universities together, put together, produces roughly to the 25,000 PhD scholars. This is fourth highest PhDs produced in the entire world. Our India is producing that many doctorates, but still we have plenty of opportunities for the doctoral research. We have there is a estimation from the government saying that in the next few years we are going to have more than 10,000 universities. Presently, we have only 1,000 plus universities, and they are estimating that considering the growth in education and our human population in India and across the globe, we are expected to have more than 10,000 universities in next 4 or 5 years. That time still the PhD research will go higher, and maybe around 2 lakhs or 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs people will be doing PhD. That's what the estimated strength of doing academic research. And if you compare the output, the number of publications also we are good. The Indian country, India, the number of publications produced worldwide, we are standing somewhere 4th or 5th place. But still, when you compare about the quality, it's not so encouraging. Many of the world rankings, our Indian institutions not able to take part in minimum the first 200. There are only very few institutions like Indian Institute of Science and Indian Institute of Technologies, and there are some universities are having place beyond that 200 rank. And this is one of the bothering issue. And hopefully, when the new institutions have coming up and the existing institutions have changing their strategies, and people like you who have joined here in this FDP, I have seen most of them are doctorates, and some of them would have been doing PhD. And I think with all the strength and enthusiasm you have, I think you will produce good quality publications. This is one side. The other side is, what is in the last 6 days, you would have heard varied aspects of the ethics in academic research. I would like to touch upon only few aspects. Number one is, what is unethical? You have seen various ethical practices. What are the things to be avoided? That's what I wanted to touch upon. Fabrication. Number one is fabrication. Fabrication means what? Fabricating the results. It is called fabrication. It is to be avoided. There are people used to say that there are 3 biggest crimes in academic research. Number one is fabrication, and number 2 is falsification, and number 3 is plagiarism. Fabrication means you have a data and you are hooking up the data and you are making something else. That is called as fabrication. Sometimes in scientific, I belong to a scientific community. I am biologist, and in science, like in our field, some photos they will modify. We have seen several instances, not only in India, across the globe. Many people have indulged in such kind of producing fabricated photographs as evidences of their research work. Even some of the people who have received highest prizes also later have been found to have produced fabricated photographs to get good quality publications. This is one of the things that any upcoming and growing researcher has to avoid. The data should be as such. You can do the statistical analysis and in whatever the way you can project the data, but you should never fabricate your data or evidences. Second thing is falsification. Falsification means what? You found out something in your research, but you are giving some contrary information, you are hiding some information, and you are deviating some of the factual things into a errorful or misleading factual thing. That is called as falsification. This is also to be avoided. Fabrication and falsification to be completely avoided. And third thing is your plagiarism. Plagiarism is everyone now are much aware what is plagiarism. That means identical contents. See, in the ages previously when we were doing PhD, these kind of terminologies were not there, were not being subjected into this many things because there is no such need was there. But now what has happened is many institutions are now in a great pressure. Many institutions and including the PhD scholars, PhD guides are in huge pressure. Means there are several ranking and accreditation bounding is there, and to meet out such kind of things, this leads to somewhere somehow in some of the places some kind of issues which leads to plagiarism and other things. Somebody will copy the information of other people without citing their original author's thing, using it for their research purposes or review purposes. That is called your plagiarism. So plagiarism is also coming through a lot of pressure from the academic sector. That is to be avoided. The publications, there are some journals which are called as popularly called as predatory journals. These predatory journals also becoming a cause for increased plagiarism issues in the academic sector. And there are you must be aware also that there are some softwares or tools available to paraphrase the content. Once people have found out, people are copying from others' research work, they have found out another escaping mechanism called as paraphrasing tools. There are several such tools available in online. You just take a content, copy it and paste it, and you will get a revised content. That will be used in the person's. These kind of unethical aspects has to be completely avoided. See, in Tamil, they used to say that Kalavam Katrumara, but this should not be in the, that means you learn about the bad things and forget about. That is what in Tamil it's used to say, Tirukural. But this should not be happen in the academic research. Academic research itself is an ethical component. I would like to say very firmly that there should not be any ethics in research, but research itself is an ethical practice. Whatever you are giving is a new information. There are millions and millions of people are going to read your article. So in such cases, you should be so much integrity. You should show your highest integrity. You should produce the originality. You should give the 100% original content, and that should be an innovative content also. So all these aspects, I think the people would have discussed more and more in detail. And I think we are close to 9 p.m. And without taking much of your time, I would like to emphasize two important aspects to avoid the such kind of unethical practices, and also to enhance the ethical mindset in the research community. Number one is self-integrity. Self-integrity is the best solution for any ethical aspects, not only in research, but in every domain. Self-integrity is the much needed aspect to avoid unethical aspects in research or to enhance the ethical aspects in the research. For example, sometime back, I also been affected by this unethical practices of publications in research. People who have studied under me, that means my students have published some articles even without my knowledge. But of course, they have included my name, but that should not happen. Every people should be informed. The people whom you are using the publication names, authors, every author should be informed, and every author should go through the entire article. Every author should approve the every content. So that is also one of the important aspects in the ethics. Some instances I have also seen that there are some scholars who have published research articles without the knowledge of their guide, and sometimes without even using the guide's name as authors. So all these aspects should be avoided in the academic research, so that you should have the self-integrity. You always have to have in mind that research itself is an ethical practice, and a person involved in research is a highly ethical and a person with highest integrity. PhD is such a noble degree, such a honorable degree. I would like to say that PhD is the ultimatum of the educational perspective. And once you are doing PhD or you are guiding PhD, you are having more responsibility, and you should be high on your integrity. I wish everyone should have highest integrity in their every professional endeavors. Second thing is institutional mechanisms. Every institution like university or college, whatever it is, should have some kind of this. For example, the university is organizing this kind of ethical aspects in research. So we used to teach our coming generations, younger generations, what is good and what is bad, so that only they will understand. Otherwise, they will be misled by bad precedences or bad examples. So the institution should have a very good mechanism to educate the newcomers and existing professionals on the ethical aspects of research. And also there should be some kind of mechanisms to prevent the unethical practices. For example, all the universities are now doing the plagiarism check whenever PhD thesis is produced. I think the UGC has given a guideline on checking the plagiarism, and there should be plagiarism checking is a must one. And nowadays UGC is insisting to upload every thesis in the online repository Shodhganga. That enhances the openness. And if the content is plagiarized content, or if the content is substandard content, people will be daring enough. They will not be confident enough to upload in the Shodhganga. But still, the UGC has made it now mandatory that every thesis produced by an university should be uploaded in the Shodhganga portal. So this is how the government is also helping a lot of good ways to enhance the ethics in research. And government is now giving free of cost the plagiarism checking software called earlier it is called Urkund, and now it is called as Original. It is giving free of cost to every university that people can use it freely. So these kind of institutional mechanisms also helping, and that will have that are to be strengthened in the days to come. I think I would like to re-emphasize the 3 activities to be avoided. Number 1 is fabrication, number 2 is falsification, and number 3 is plagiarism. And everyone should have 2 important aspects, that is self-integrity and using the institutional mechanisms to adhere the ethics in research. I think all these days you would have been given so much of information, and please pass on this information to your colleagues, to your students, and to your fellow friends. And there are now technical aspects, many technical things have come. And I think in the during these days, I have attended one session by Professor Padma Kumar or some Skoba Kumar on the usage of Mendeley software. So like there are many such tools are available, which makes the jobs of academic researchers easily. So you no need to indulge in any kind of unethical practices. Ethics will give you more fruitful productions. And I wish everyone a grand success in their academic endeavors. I wish also the organizers and thank the organizers for having conducted this wonderful event in a wonderful manner. And congratulations to everyone. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. I will assure you, sir, that faculty members will never follow ethical practice here afterwards, sir. Thank you. Now we'll move on to the next session. I invite Dr. Srinivasan, Associate Professor in Ahmed Business School, to propose the vote of thanks. Srinivasan, sir. Yes, and continue, sir. Srinivasan, sir.
Dr. Pugano, if he is having
sir.
any issues, you can propose vote of thanks and close the event.
So I express a sincere thanks to all the participants who are participating here in the Zoom link and also in the YouTube link for the past six days from Monday to Saturday. They were patiently listening all the presentations, and I thank our administration, our HRDC director, vice chancellor, and our registrar who are given permission to organize this function continuously yearly for me, and also thank all the participants, all the experts. Thank you one and all. So now I will send the exam link to you. So I request all the participants to complete the exam and leave the webinar. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I'm leaving. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, sir. We are having the exam link in
Wait,
our
now
WhatsApp group.
we will be receiving the exam link.
Okay, sir. On WhatsApp group, sir?
Both on WhatsApp group and also in the Zoom link. Both you can
Okay, sir.
receive.
Thank you. Thank you.
என்னாச்சு? சரி, நான் முடிச்சிட்டேன். vote of thanks கொடுத்து நான் முடிச்சிட்டேன்.